Hi guys, this is Patricia from Yarny Cat Crochet, and I thought we would do another late night knit and chat. My dog decided to sleep near the television, so we're in a different angle. I got my tea, which is August Uncommon, the chamomile one. It's got a bunch of different little things in it with chamomile. I've already reviewed it on one of the What's in My Cup, What's on My Hook, What's on My Mind videos, which I'm going to make another one soon. Just with the holidays, it kind of got off kilter, so we'll have to do it for this week at some point. So if you want to sit and chat for a minute, grab whatever you're working on, or just while you're cleaning, or whatever's going on in your day. It's late at night here. I think it's around, it's after midnight, more closer to 1. So technically it's Monday. We'll just pretend like it isn't. That is such good tea. But I got my scarf that I've been working on with you guys for my cousin. And I thought we'd just sit here and discuss a few things. One would be the Hats for the Homeless. I'm going to call it Hats for the Homeless Challenge 2023. So I have an email, and I will put it in the description box. You probably won't see this till Monday. Probably all my overseas friends will see it first, because I'll get off here and put it up. But all my friends on this side of the planet will get to see it later on in their day. Time differences and everything are kind of confusing for me. I know of it. I'm aware. I just, like Sam from Memphis Mix the other day, it was her live. I said, it's 1 p.m. here, and she said, well, you're in the Eastern Standard Time, and I was like, how do you know that off the top of your head? She's knowledgeable on time. If it's not here, I'm not real aware of it. I try to keep up, but it's a little bit more than what my brain can handle, but she just rattled it right off there. I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, the Hats for the Homeless Challenge 2023. And what it's going to be real laid back. It's going to last the whole year up until Christmas time, when we'll donate them. And you'll donate yours in your local community. Mine will go to the food bank that gives out groceries. In years and years past, they have helped our family. I mean, there were times when my husband's company shut down, and they just up and shut down. They didn't help him relocate. They did have some people come in and from like the temporary companies and stuff, but he had been working there for I want to say it was like 12 years. 12 years he had been working for that company, and they just shut down and expected them to get a temporary job. I mean, he did, of course, because we needed the money. But that was a lot. It was a lot for him. And then going back out into the workforce after 12 years and all the technology. Do you know that now, I don't know how it is across the pond, but now you go online and you apply for everything. It's no going in and talking to the people face to face, and I mean, you do that eventually, but there's a lot of computer stuff. Well, when my husband last went to work, it was fill out and this was a while back. It was fill out your resume and fill out the application and take them all over the place, and get an appointment for an interview. It was, I mean, they had computers, obviously, but it was more analog than it was digital. And in the digital age now, you have to fill everything out digitally. So my husband never had to deal with that. So it was like starting all over again, and having no clue how to go about it. There's all these job recruiter sites that you can get on. The one that he used was Indeed. You can look it up, but I'm sure a lot of people know. Well, at least the people from over here know what it is. But it's like a giant. It's on the web, but it's like a giant billboard with job postings on it, but in computer form. You go in there and you type what skills that you have, and what job that you did before, and how you made that job. Everything you would say in an interview, but to the computer. And then the computer brings you up all the jobs that match your, the stuff that you put in there. But then it brings a bunch of junk jobs too that they just throw in the midst of it all. So it's a lot of searching to find, the ones you want to put in for. So there was a lot of those applications, and then filing for unemployment until he got a job from one of those places, and it was a literal nightmare. But he did it, and he got in with a good company. But in the midst of all that, we had to go to the food bank, and very nice people. It's a Baptist church here in town. We're not Baptist, but they don't discriminate. And they helped us out. So when I was thinking of the hats, I was thinking, well, they do food baskets for Thanksgiving, and we didn't make the Thanksgiving baskets, but tomorrow they will be handing them out. They hand out food once a month, but they're open every Monday, so depending on when you went in last, you just come in that week the next month, so it's a full month. But anyway, so they could hand out the hats then. I mean, as long as everybody's getting them. It's fairly mild right now, so as long as everybody's getting them before it really, really kicks in. I mean, we had a cold snap, and then it went away. And it's like decent, coat season, but, not super bad. But so they'll get them in time. But next year, I would like to be more prepared, and that's where this idea came from. So what it entails. So I made a goal for myself. I want to do 2 hats a week. I can do more than that. I mean, you guys have seen. But I thought if I did it where it wouldn't stress me out, that I could do 2 hats a week and still keep up with, other things like my channel and my craft, doing the things that I want to craft. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a box, and for the hats that I'm going to give away, I'll throw those in that box. And the hats, because I was thinking about doing some shawls and hats to sell at craft fairs and stuff. So I'll have a box for that, and then a Christmas box for next year, because I started in January this year, um, uh, for all the Christmas things for my family. So anyway, so what I did was I set a goal for 2 hats, not a month. I think I just said a month again, didn't I? I said that in the last video that I talked about. 2 hats a week. I hope that that's what I said. And so there's 52 weeks in a year. Of course, toward the end, I'm going to have to do a few more extra because I want to give them before Christmas. So I'll just have to make the hats that I would have made in the weeks of December just earlier. If you can think about it, you know. But there's 52 weeks in a year. And if I did 2 hats a year, or 2 hats a week, that would be 104 hats, which I want to do 50 this year, and I only got 38, so I think that's an improvement. And so that's my goal. I'm going to write that down, and then as I'm making them, either once a week or once a month, whichever, I'll have a video on the hats that I finished, and maybe some lives thrown in here and there. I don't know, but at some point we will, show the hats that I made, and so how everybody else can join in if they want to. Well, you have to pick your goal. So if you are somebody who is a slower crocheter and you just want to do a 1 hat a week, I mean, your goal could be 1 hat a month, 1 hat a week, any goal that you pick for yourself. And the yarn weight that you're going to use and the needle that you're going to use. And so you will, I have an email, and I'm going to put it in the description box every time now, but this doesn't start till the first week of January. So you can email in me your goal. If you say you want to do 1 hat a month, you put that in, what weight yarn you're going to use. If you want to send a picture of the yarn and your goal written on a piece of paper and the hook that you're going to use, or needles, you can knit or crochet, it doesn't matter. There's no set, just like I did this year. I just winged it. So I don't want it to be stressful at all. This is supposed to be enjoyable and giving back to the community. So it's going to be nice all around for everybody. So there's no stress. There's no, you didn't do 104 hats, so you don't get, it's, no. If you do 1 hat, you're qualified. That's the way it's going to be. So on the email, you tell me your goal, the weight yarn that you're going to use, and the needle. And if you have a picture of the yarn, you can send that too. If I can, I'll put them up on my community tab and show people if you want. There's no, if you're too shy and you just want to do it and you just want to tell me about it and then just not share it with anybody else, just let me know in the email. It's fine. So there will be a prize. I haven't got that one ironed out yet, but I have until the 1st of January to tell you. But it'll either be a yarn prize or a gift card, something to motivate people to want to join. And I will, you know, tell you that by January 1st. But it'll either be yarn from my stash, which is all brand new, and when the yarn comes into my house, it goes into a Ziploc bag. So even though it may not be brand new yarn, it's new yarn. And if I do like for people that are out of the country, I can do like an Etsy gift card or a Visa vanilla gift card. Those you can, well, no. Can I do Visa for across the seas? It might have to be an Etsy. See, I got a few things to iron out, but I will make it worth it anyway to join. But there will be a prize, and I will try to make it a good one. But anyway, it's just all fun, for people to join in, and we'll put all of everybody's into a either a hat, or if I can figure out how to use the random comment picker for that, it might have to be a hat or a bucket or whatever, and shake it up, and I'll pick out a winner for the prize, and I'll try and make it a good one, especially since we will be doing it for a whole year. If I could figure out how to do the Amazon thing, I'll do the Amazon thing. Either way, you will get a prize for participating if you're picked out of the thing. I'd like to do it as fair as possible, give everybody a chance, But anyway, so basically that's it. All you have to do is pick your yarn, pick your goal, figure out what hook that you need to use for that yarn, and off you go. I hope that was clear enough. I have trouble explaining things. I know what I want to say. It gets mixed up in my head, and then it doesn't come out right. My son is my interpreter. I'll say something and my husband will be like, "What?" And my son says, "Mom means da 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 da." But anyway, so yeah, that's the Hats for the Homeless Challenge 2023. And and so yeah, you don't have to mail those hats anywhere. Well, unless you want to mail them somewhere, you just have to take them to your local place that you want to do. If it's a cancer hospital, make sure you use soft yarn, because I think they only accept the yarn that is soft, because their skin is painful and they need something soft to touch, or it could be the homeless shelter or the food banks in your town, so you don't have to go anywhere. Or if there's a hat drive, or hat, gloves, and clothes drive, or the Salvation Army, just wherever that they're collecting, you might want to call the food banks in your town, or any missions that are in your town. Ours has a food bank, and it has a lot of churches. There's all different kinds. But that one was the one that helped us, so that's why I want to help them. And they really were grateful for the hats, and they were eager to get them. So I was very happy about that. It gives you the warm fuzzies. But anyway, so yeah, that's what it is. I hope you understand. If you have any questions, my email will be in the description box below, and you can email me any questions that you have. I can't imagine you'd have very many, because it's just you make your own goal, you pick your own yarn, you pick your own hook, and you can use any hat pattern you want, or you can wing it like I do. Watch some of my previous videos. I talk about it a little bit, about my process in making beanie hats. But, oh, and I may have a tutorial at some point on how to make just a plain beanie. You know, there's also going to be a, excuse me, let me get a drink. I've been very dry. Sorry if my slurping is loud. Chamomile tea is awesome. Oh yeah, Sam says they call it chamomile. If I said that right. Chamomile, I think is what she said. We call it chamomile. We put our own spin on everything. It's just us. But yeah, that's probably how you're supposed to pronounce it, because we got our English from y'all. We just stirred it up a little bit with all the people and languages that have came, and that's why it's so hard to learn English for people, because it's so mixed. Well, even over there, you had all kinds of different countries' influences on your language too. So yeah, there's just, my aunt, she's from Guatemala. She said that it was so hard for her because of words like two and two, like the number two, and I like that too. There's words that mean two different things, like live and live. You live, and the video went live. It's a bunch of different words that mean, or same words that mean different things. She said it was really hard for her to learn English. So, yeah, so I do like it when people tell me, though, because it's so interesting. I watch a lot of British, like, television, and the British Bake Off, and Dairy Girls. Oh, that was the new one I didn't tell you guys. I started watching, and I finished it. I binge watched that sucker all the way through because it was so good. That's set in Ireland, and at least, yeah, because it's it was during the time when the IRA in the 90s. I really don't know the history on that, just a little bit from the TV show, but apparently there was scary goings on, and they had to live their lives. Go to school and do the grocery shopping and everything, while there was like checkpoints and soldiers and bombings going on. It had to be scary. I just couldn't imagine. I would be afraid to send my kids out to school, you know. But the show itself, it doesn't really go into that a whole lot. It does. You can tell that it's a part of the show, and the parents are reacting to it going on in the background of what the show is. But it's a comedy show, and it is just so good. I love Sister Michael. She's so funny. And as a side note, they were on the British Baking Show, so that was kind of cool. They did the holiday British Baking Challenge, or however, I don't know how you put it, but um, so that was pretty cool. I and I've watched a few interviews after, because I watched it on Netflix. I didn't watch it while it was on, but yeah, I've always. Even when I was young, would watch. They would come on. We have what do they call it? PBS, and they would put some of the British shows on, like Keeping Up with the Appearances, Black's Books. Oh, The Vicar of Dibley. Oh man, I love that show so much. There's more. My dad used to watch Benny Hill when I was younger. Um, there's just, you name it. A lot of I love murder mysteries, and there's a lot of ones from the British television, and I like to watch some of those too. I I'd have to get into the list to tell you what I've watched, but and write them down and then share it with you. But yeah, I do like the British shows. I guess the same way that y'all like to watch American television to see something different, I guess. But I just love the dry humor. Just it's really witty. Oh, the It Crowd. It's on the Netflix, but I guess it was over there before we got it over here. Um, I don't know how that went, but it's so good. It's so funny. I'm glad that Netflix has those options, you know. But yeah, I really recommend the Dairy Girls. It was so good. And the girls, they're just so cute and funny, and it's just it's about girls growing up in that era. One, there's one boy, but uh, it's just it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope that there's another one I can watch. I'm watching them all up. But anyway, yeah. So there's gonna be a crochet along, but it could also be knit. That too. It's gonna be loose. No pressure. No. On the blank crochet along, there's not going to be a prize for that one. That one's just if you want to join in and work on a project together, is basically what that one is. There's no stress. You can make it however you want. Um, it I'm going to do a tutorial for a granny square, but it's just going to be a basic granny square. I've never done a crochet tutorial before. The only tutorial I've ever done is the one for the how to make a Christmas decoration out of things just you have at your house. So it'll be my first crochet tutorial, and just to show anybody who doesn't know how to make a granny square. But I figured out that the yarn that I got that I want to use for it is better off made by crocheting little squares, not in a granny square format. So that's how I'm going to do mine. But I will do a granny square to show everybody how to do a granny square if they don't know. And I will show how I'm doing mine. But that one is also because everybody has different blankets that they're going to make. So I'm going to make a lap blanket, like a throw. So mine's not going to be as big. You might want to make one for your bed, or the back of your couch, or whatever. So your dimensions are going to be different. But I will show you how to go about it, and then I will update you on my progress as I go along. And there might be some lives to talk about how we're doing and stuff like that. As soon as I figure out that live business, I'm very, very nervous about that. I just don't know, but I'm going to do my best. And I have the example of all my friends who have channels, and I have the support of all my friends who message me through the chat, and I know that I'll make it through. We'll do it together. But anyway, yeah, that's I have to sit and figure out after I finish off that square that I was working on the other day with you guys. I'm going to measure it, and then I'm going to do the math of how wide along the bottom and how tall, because mine will be more of a rectangle because it's going to be a lap blanket. So I consider a lap blanket one that you could pull up to your shoulders, and it covers your feet if you're sitting in a chair. So that's shorter than if you're laying straight, you know. But you can do yours couch size, bed size, doggy size, if you just want to make a doggy size blanket for your animal or a kitty or whatever pet you got. But yeah, so it's going to be a pretty low-key crochet along, just something for fun. So I always like 4-weight yarn, but you can do it in whatever weight you want, however big or small you want to make the squares. And like I said, if you wanted to knit a bunch of square-shaped squares, or if you wanted to knit rectangles and squares and put them together in a patchwork blanket, it is okay. You can do it however you want to do it. And the main thing is that we get together and we share our craft and have a goal to work towards. And that one, it could run from January to, well, however long it takes you to make the blanket, but we'll say June. That'll give people enough time to finish. And then maybe we could do a slideshow video or something and put people's blankets on there. We'll do something for that, but that one's not going to have a giveaway on that one. Just the one for the hats for the homeless. Because I'm still really small and I can't do a lot of giveaways. We don't have the means for that. So I do them spaced out as much as I can. But we'll have those two going on simultaneously. The one the whole year and the one just for, what was that, 6 months? So I hope that's enough time. You guys can give me a little feedback in the comments about if that's 6 months is enough time. Of course, I ultimately pick what works the best for me to do it, but it will help me to make my decisions if you guys gave a little feedback on the blanket along about how long to have the blanket along. So, gosh, It is, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to stare at you. It is 34 minutes in already. That's crazy. I can talk and I just don't even, the time just passes. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much, we had a really great day today. My son wanted to play online games, like he has this sports thing for his PlayStation, and there's all different, there's bowling and all different kinds of sports on there, so we played that for a little bit as a family, and then I got done and I let them play because I get wore out, but they played it for hours, and then I was watching your all's videos. Oh, the Smells Great guy, he, I forget what his name is, I apologize, but he had this hat that was made out of Christmas lights yarn, and it has like a metal foil in it, but it's not rough, and the way it reflects the light, it does look like the different colored Christmas lights. It's amazing. I'm going to have to re-watch it again because I was watching it and paying attention to them playing the game, so I don't have all the details, but go check out his channel. I think his name might be Ross. I could be wrong. But most people know who I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, he had some really pretty and all different. The one he was wearing, the hat was red, but there was all different colors with that metallic strip in it, and the way they reflected the light, it really did look like Christmas lights. Which, oh, reminds me of, in our town, if you look up Charlestown, Indiana, Christmas lights, it should come up. There should be, if you type those words in, there should be a link about it. But we have them every year, and I think they might even put a video of the show on the website. I'm not really sure, but people come from all over to see it, and we're a tiny town. It's like, I don't even know how to explain how small it is, but it has a post office, it has a grocery store, it has a Chinese restaurant, a Japanese restaurant, 3 pizza places, a Subway, a Taco Bell, and a McDonald's. 4 gas stations, 5 or 6 churches, a high school, a middle school, and an elementary school. That's about how big it is. And then, of course, just the neighborhoods that surround all that. But anyway, they put on this amazing lights display, and they have this. It's a train, but it's not really a train. It's like a tram, but it's made to look like a steam train, and has lights on it, and you can ride it around town and look at the lights. And they have cocoa, and sometimes on the weekends they'll have vendors out there. And I think at some point they have Santa, for those who take their kids to see Santa. But it is just super, super cute. Every year they play the Snoopy and the Red Baron song, which I wait for and film it because I like to show my mom. But it's just really, really cute. That's something we do. And then, let me take a drink real quick. My mouth's getting dry. Sorry. I'm so gabby. Man, that tea is good. So then, there's also lights under Louisville. We have thunder over Louisville. So we live across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. You know, the Derby. Um, thunder over Louisville is known. There's people that come worldwide to see that. It's the biggest light show for Thunder over Louisville is something we have a week before Derby time, where we have the Derby races, horse races, and there is a festival the whole time. They have I think it's like a 5K run, and these bed races where the people have to decorate a bed, and then somebody sits on the bed, and 3 or 4 other people push the bed, and they're in this race, and they have to go. And there's like an Ironman thing where you bike and you run and swim. I might have that one. They might not have all 3 of those things, but I mean there is something like that, and of course all the parties they have around Derby time, and it all leads up to the Derby Run for the Roses race, and everybody all around has parties and picks their horses, and we don't bet on horses, but we pick just for fun, you know. And I've won quite a few years, but there's no money involved. But anyway, most people do bet on them, though. But anyway, but anyway, what I was talking about was lights under Louisville. So it's not the Thunder over Louisville display. But there is a quarry in Louisville, and it runs under a pretty long way, where they had dug rock out, I guess, to help. You might look up the history on it, but maybe to help build the city. I don't remember, but it's a quarry, and it's underground. And so there's this huge cavern under the city of Louisville, and there is zip lines where you hold on to the line, you go zooming through, and there's a dirt bike track, and there's this thing where the kids are tethered to the lead line, and there's like the rope bridge and things you climb and stuff, but they're safety equipment tethered, and of course their parents have to be there. And then there's these, during the holidays, they do Christmas lights, and there's a ton of different displays. And because big dump trucks used to go on, gigantic dump trucks, bigger than a dump truck you've ever seen. They're just mega dump trucks. So it was pretty wide. And so cars now can drive through and see, you just drive through at a slow, like 10 miles an hour or something, really slow. And you drive through, and there's all these different light displays that you can see everywhere, and it's amazing. And so we do that. And we're fixing to put up our lights for our house, but that won't be spectacular. It'll just be good enough. But we do like to put up I love lights. Lights are my thing. I love lights. And we put up what decorations we have, you know, and run them at night till, we go to sleep, and then we shut them off, save electricity. But, yeah, people kind of go crazy around here with the lights. But anyway, that's some of the things we're going to be doing for the Christmas season, leading up to Christmas. And I think they even run that light show in town till like New Year. I could be wrong. But if you get on the Charlestown, Indiana website, about 8 years ago, we moved from um, Memphis, Indiana, which is right next to Henryville, Indiana, where my son went to school. I told you guys that story the other day. I won't be repeating that. But anyway, we moved a little bit more out of the path to Charlestown, which is, they're all real close to each other. Well, close in the sense that it takes us about 20 minutes to drive from there to here. To us, that's a very, very short. But anyway, yeah, we moved to be in town, and I'm so glad we did. I really, really love this town. It they're all the time improving on making it to look beautiful, and they put up all kinds of decorations for the holidays, and they have Founders Day, and they have 4th of July stuff, concerts and stuff like that. They have movies in the park. There's this natural berm where the road is up high, and then the dirt slopes down into the park. So everybody sits there along that berm, and then deeper into the slope, they put the screen for the movie, and they'll play movies. We saw Frozen there the first time, the first Frozen. And they have a popcorn stand, and you can get soda and popcorn there for cheap. It might be a little bit more next year, but there at one point it was like 50 cents for the soda, and I think maybe 50 cents for the popcorn. Anyway, it was $1 and under. And they have the park is there, and they have the swings and stuff for the kids, and a walking path. And then across from that is the dog park, which is really nice. Yeah, we love our dogs around here. So I know a lot of towns do. They have dog parks everywhere. But I thought that was pretty special, being that we're a small town, you know. But anyway, yeah, the town really does it up right for the holidays. And I have you all know that I'm in a wheelchair, which I'm doing some small getting back and forth to the car and everything, walking. But for long haul, like going to the store or anything, if I did that, I wouldn't make it. I can only go very short distances. But this town has sidewalks all over the place, and I have an electric wheelchair. And if I wanted to go to the library, I could just scoot on down to the library. The sidewalks are very nice, and they have crosswalks if I need to cross, which I try not to. I try to just stay on the side of the street that I live on. And there's enough stuff on that side. I don't need to go to the other side. We'll save that for the car trips, you know. So it's safe. And our town is a really safe town. I've went by myself several times. I prefer going with my son if I do it, but I have done it by myself to go to the library to take my books back, or, you know, I like getting books at the library still. I don't like books on digital where I'm reading from a tablet. To me, it just doesn't seem right. I'm old school, people. I was raised in the old ways, and I may not be that old, but I was raised old. And it took me a long time to get an email to accept the technology. And you wouldn't know it now. I've learned quite a bit since then, but I I went to college after I had already been married and my son was young. And I took business and I got an associate's degree in that. But anyway, that forced me to use a laptop and to get an email because you had to have an email for them to message you and stuff. And so the librarian, her name's June, and she taught me how to make my first email. And so she used to live in Henryville, and she was the head librarian at Henryville, and we lived in Memphis. That was the town over, but my son went to school in Henryville, and we went to the Henryville library because Memphis didn't have a library. And then when I moved here, she had switched over, unbeknownst to me, to our library, and it was so cool. And I hadn't been in there for a really long time up until, there was just that whole COVID thing, and I stayed in. And so the other day we went to go pick up some books, and she was there, and we just had the best talk. It was really, really awesome. She knew my son from second grade, so she was happy to see him, and, how much he had grown, and it was just really sweet and a nice Hallmark moment. But anyway, so we have that library, and there's also Charlestown State Park, which is a park where there is some historic things back there, and just all kinds of neat stuff. If you look up the history of Charlestown, Indiana, you'll see quite a few neat things. If you're somebody who likes that kind of history. I love all kinds of history. I really love, ancient history, but I like our history too. The United States history, I like that too. But anyway, oh gosh, we've been talking for, did I say 32 minutes just a little bit ago? It is 54 minutes. I might have either been reading it wrong or I've been talking 20 more minutes from that and didn't even realize it. Oh my goodness. Well, you guys, I am going to finish this row, and then I am going to quit recording so I can get to bed so that I can wake up in the morning and, work on something that I can show you for tomorrow. But I just want to thank everybody for sitting and crocheting with me, or knitting with me, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that tea video, or I might do it Tuesday. But thank you guys for watching and knitting with me, and then letting me know about it later. I love all the emails that I get, so keep that up. I love it. Thank you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.